What's going on, everybody? Matt Malatesta here. We are launching this new podcast. We talking young people, but not in high school, a little bit more mature. The VYPE interns are here. All right, introduce yourselves.
Hi everyone, my name is Ava and I go to LSU.
Hey, my name is Grant Como. I'm a senior at the University of Oklahoma.
I'm Amelia, and I'm going to be a junior at the University of Texas.
So the beauty is we have people from colleges that are cool. LSU, of course, you know the deal, how I feel about LSU. OU, all SEC programs.
Yeah.
Would you say the SEC life, we'll start here. SEC life is, you don't know anything different, but how is the SEC life? Why is it fun?
I feel like LSU is like a different than most SEC schools. Like, I feel like whenever you think SEC, you're thinking Ole Miss, like Bama, and they're like, oh my God, bless your heart. And then you go to LSU and you're like, whoa, what just happened, you know?
Yes.
But I like that I'm from, like, obviously we're from Texas, so I like the homey Southern, like, Southern manners are real. I learned that in college, and it's like scary because Northern people are terrifying. So,
But OU comes in late to the game in Texas. Both y'all coming in late. But, you know, you grew up an LSU fan, and from your parents were from Thibodaux, Louisiana, which is like the epicenter of Louisiana.
Oh, you're born to go to LSU.
You're born.
Born
But y'all
to
go to
LSU.
OU. But, okay, here's my thought. Is OU, what do you find it, what is similar to OU in the SEC? Now that they're in this SEC, how would you compare OU to another traditional SEC school?
Yeah, I mean, I would say at the beginning, it definitely wasn't. It didn't feel like an SEC school. Like, it still had great features and everything. But I'd say over time, and especially since we made the move, you saw a lot of changes at the school. I mean, our tailgates got better and bigger, and I mean, we started throwing more things, and I don't know. I just feel like a lot of things changed as soon as we went to the SEC, and it became more of a, you know, there's already a big football culture at Oklahoma, but I feel like things were taken to another level as soon as we entered the SEC. You know, it's just a bigger deal there, and things mean more. So I mean, I personally think that it's the main thing for me is the tailgating. I mean, you can't go wrong with the bad tailgate. So I mean, I'd say that part got ramped up a lot as soon as we moved to the SEC. But yeah, it was just overall the whole culture of it. It changed a lot.
Texas is totally
Yeah, I was going to say.
different.
Yeah.
It's so different because it's in like a city. Like the school is built around the city, so it doesn't feel as much like a traditional Southern college town.
Mm-hmm.
But damn, they're freaking good at everything. It's pissing me off.
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like especially at these three schools and like the SEC schools, like I feel like it's the least SEC school. But we do have like some of the SEC perks, and especially with how good we are at football right now, like it's been like, I feel like you definitely feel like the SEC football kind of culture, but you still get like the being in a city, like kind of getting that like city lifestyle. And the same thing you said, like we still have like, it's like being in like New York, but like with people with like Southern charm. So it's like really the best of both worlds. And like you really can make it as much of an SEC experience as you want, but you can also like lay back and like get to experience other things, which I feel like is super cool.
These are freaking three great answers. Okay, so Amelia went to the Woodlands, ran track, runs track in college,
True.
transfers to UT. Here's my thing. Is it hard? What was the transfer to UT like on a freaking massive campus? Everybody kind of seemingly might have their little groupie groups, but you're kind of a person that you could just throw in anywhere
Thank you.
that can adapt. But
Thank you.
what was the transfer like?
I will say, like, my college journey has been, like, nothing ordinary, which, like, it's fine, and, like, I think everything happens for a reason. I'm, like, super thankful I went and, like, tried track in college, and, like, maybe it didn't work out, but, like, I know I would have regretted not trying it. So, like, transferring was something I knew I wanted to do, like, really early on last year. And then I applied to schools, and, like, once I got into Texas in June, I signed my lease in July, and I knew I had to go. But it was super scary at first, but I was willing to, like, go through that process to be able to transfer, if that makes sense. And so at first, like, coming in as a sophomore, like, everybody does have, like, their friend groups, and, like, the freshmen are, like, all in the dorms, and, like, I feel like as a sophomore, like, you necessarily don't want to go out, like, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, like, what all the freshmen are doing. So I feel like, okay, no, you can.
Okay.
But at the same time, like, I feel like you can't, like, I don't know, like school, I don't know, like you kind of have to like,
I can't make school if I go out on a weekday.
Yeah,
so
like-
I choose not to personally.
Bro, here's why, because you're a senior.
yeah, that might
I'm
be
an
why.
old man.
He's the old man of the group.
Exactly.
That's valid. That's valid. I don't know. For me, and like especially coming off a year where like I couldn't go out at all, I feel like that adjustment to like keeping up with the freshmen was like kind of hard, if
It's
that
hard.
makes sense. So I did like end up finding my people like as like sophomores, if that makes sense. They ended up being sophomores, and so like it did take time, but just like trusting the process. And I feel like that's any college experience. So it's like you'll find your people eventually. Just like say yes to everything and like put yourself out there, and like that's like my best advice, I would say.
So you went to Rush. You went through Rush.
Yes, I did go
Yes,
through Rush.
and RA what?
I'm a trade out at Texas.
So, but I was talking to you, and you're like, you do some random shit, dude.
I do.
You're like, I am on the wake surf team.
I am on the
Or
wake surf team.
Wake surf club.
Yes, Texas
Give me
Wake.
some-
Super fun.
Give me what else you do.
That's kind of like what I implied with like the like Texas being like the least SEC Texas. I don't know, you just like can experience so many things like being in the city and like having like Travis and like Lake Austin next to us. So I am part of Texas Wake, and then I am originally from Mexico, so there's like a lot of like international people at UT, which like I didn't know going into the school, and so I've met people from like all over the world. We have like a big group of like abroad students. Like I joined this like Latin organization. It's like a business and economics organization, but it also like throws parties, so like that's super fun. So I'm in that.
You go to mine.
You,
Big day.
you know.
Big.
Exactly. But yeah, just like joining other organizations and like amplifying my like horizon has like really helped me meet like all of my kinds of people, which is like super fun.
Y'all, what I do love about y'all is y'all are pretty fearless. Like, you gotta be freaking fearless just to go, like, especially your situation going in as a sophomore, that would be hard. Here's the thing. I went to LSU. My kids went to LSU. When you go to LSU, freaking, and you're from out of state, everybody's related. I felt like I was out of place. And in the beginning, because like there's only like 2 million people that live in Louisiana,
Yeah.
and there's like 2 million people that live inside the loop of Houston.
Exactly.
So it's like all these people knew each other. They're all related. They want to go out every night. Every night they going out as a freshman. And then, which is, I mean, I get it. It's super fun. The culture at LSU is, you're right, is completely unlike anything else. You're walking on campus, you might see Shaq, you might see Boozy, you might see Joe Burrow, Jaden Daniels, Libby Dunn, whomever.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of a,
It's a culture shock.
it is a culture shock.
I'm from Texas.
You are from
Small
Texas.
town Texas.
And then, okay, your journey was this. You go through Rush, you pick a sorority, next day, boom, out. Walk us through. Get a mic. Walk us through the process.
Okay. I would say that, okay, so my high school life was just like, it was weird.
First of all, it was weird because you lived in Brazos Wood.
I live in Lake Jackson, and if you don't know where that is, that's normal because ain't nobody know where Lake Jackson is, dude. No one knows where Lake Jackson is.
Carry on.
And so I did cheer and dance, like 2 years of cheer and dance my entire life.
Yeah.
And somehow I did dance my entire life and still had no friends. Don't ask me how. It never happened for me. So then I went through cheer and still kind of had no friends. And then did bells, like dance team, my junior year, and tried out for captain. I was like, oh yeah, I'm eating this up. Girl, I did my first time ever on camera was at like a rocket. This is so off topic. Rocket launch. And it was like my school's host, or we were like going to this a military base.
Yes.
To go launch rockets. And we were doing a live stream. And they're like, hey, do you want to do it? And I'm like, yeah. They're like, you talk a lot. And I was like, yeah, I got that. Like, what do you know about rockets? I was like, nothing. We got a 3-hour car ride though, so I can learn.
Yes.
And so that day, I'm 3.5 hours away from my family. And my dance coach decides to drop the fact that I'm not a captain there. 3.5 hours away from my mom. That is my best friend because, like I said, have no friends. And so I have like an actual picture, like bawling. And then I was like,
Right.
Hi everyone, my name is Ava Carson.
Yeah,
Like literally, it was the most humbling experience ever. And then imagine my surprise whenever I see like VYPE is looking for ambassadors. I'm like, I don't know what an ambassador is. And then I looked and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna text this person and I'm gonna try. And I knew nothing about football, knew what a quarterback was. That's about all I got. And then I met Jackson,
Right.
and he was like, yeah, girl, like, go to your first game. I was like, yeah, I got that. Like,
That's the problem. We give you too much freedom.
I'm like, what? I'm like, what?
Too much freedom.
I was like, what is a tight end? Like,
Yes.
what? What is going on? What is a wide receiver?
Right.
And then as I learned, I was like, I was texting my dad. I was like, Dad, I need help. Like, I'm so confused. And so, my football team in high school started teaching me, as I went on. They were like color coding stuff. They're like, pink is defense, blue is offense. This is the quarterback, and he's gonna throw it. And I was like, yeah, like eat down. But then, Bewood is so bad at football.
Terrible.
And so imagine my surprise whenever I'm going to the Lamar versus Atascocita game, but I'm like, what just happened?
Yeah.
Like, oh, they run so fast and they're so big. Like, I think the tallest person on my team was like 6 foot, and then this guy's walking by, I'm like 6'6". Oh my god, which is crazy because then imagine my surprise whenever I see Shaq, and I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
'Cause-
There's a real.
Because going to LSU is like, I can't like imagine a day where I haven't seen like some type of like social media celebrity,
Right.
because LSU is so big on NIL, and I think that like we just have very, very influential students
Yeah.
that go. I mean, like they have everything from social media just social media influencers to Livy Dunn.
Of
Like,
all places, though. Like, you're thinking it would be at Texas. That's where I think it'd be. But I'm
yeah.
like, when you go to Baton Rouge, you're like, this is where all these people come from.
I only visited one time before I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go there.
Why?
So basically I was taking a tour and I saw a flag that said Aggie Hater Club, and I was like, ding, 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 this is where I'm going.
Wow.
And I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
you know what? I'm gonna full send this. And my mom was like, okay. And so I was like, Mom, I'm pretty sure I'm going here. And she's like, you haven't toured any other schools? I'm like, no, this is the one. And I was like, okay. She was like, you know what? Okay, like, let's do early acceptance, because I'm the type of person that if I get overwhelmed, I'm like, I'm out of there. Like, turns out I'm a college dropout. I'm not going anywhere. So I just early acceptance, like, I just sent it, and then I opened up my acceptance letter at the table on my phone, and I told my mom after she was coming back from a buffet at my parents' ranch. My mom was like, oh my gosh, why didn't I get it on video? Oh my god. And then it was just a culture shock, like, just like going in there, like, just for move-in day.
It is. It's a culture shock.
It was so baffling. Like, no one talks about how fast, and no one understands what they're saying. Like, it's like a
Cajun.
You're
talking about Cajun.
Yeah.
yeah,
Cajun
it's
folk.
almost like a New York accent, but
It
the
is.
person is high. And they're like dragging.
Yeah.
It's
Good
just
way to
like,
put it.
it's so confusing. It's like the way of life is like insane.
What dorm did you live in?
I was an ECA.
Okay.
So I lived in an apartment, which it made my life a lot easier. I could just sit in my room all day, and I mean, like, I'm the oldest, so like, I'm like, dude, back it up. I need my own space. But like, no one talks about the bar life because you're like, oh, I can't keep up. There was like a good like 2 or 3 months of my life where I'm like, we're going out Monday, Tuesday, taking a break on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday,
Yeah.
Saturday, take a break on Sunday. But Sunday was my recovery day because we just partied in Death Valley.
Right.
So like, it's just like that entire experience was like insane because I'm not even like from like Houston where you're like, oh my gosh, let's go to the bar. I'm like from Houston, like, we're a dry town, you know?
Yeah. No, that's.
So like, I'm not from that type of Texas.
No.
Like, I'm like, bless your heart.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, why would you wear that type of Texas?
Well, I think it is a culture shock going to LSU. I don't like if at OU, it feels like it's all Texas people there. Dallas is heavy. It's heavy Dallas. It's heavy Houston. When you get there, it seemed like y'all are kind of, which is crazy, is you, Grant's a triplet. So you and your brother go, and then y'all go through Rush, and that was smooth, and you go to the fraternity life. Is it overwhelming? What was the transition from high school to college like?
Yeah, I mean, same thing. I mean, it was definitely a little weird at first. I had visited a couple times, but it was definitely a lot different than I expected at first, in a good way, not in a bad way. I mean, there are a lot of Texas people though. There
Yeah.
are more Oklahoma. You would think there are more Texas based on what you see before you go, but I mean, I've enjoyed my time there. I've loved it. It's very like I said, it's different than what you expect. You expect to go in and it wasn't as SEC-ish as I
Yeah.
guess I thought it would be, but at the same time, it's not a bad thing because it kind of opened me up to like a new, almost like a country feel type of school
You were
in
wearing
a good
boots.
way. Yeah, I wore boots sometimes, with boots and jeans. You had to.
Impressive,
So I mean,
impressive transition there.
yeah. So I mean, it was different at first, but I definitely enjoyed it, and I ended up really, really, making it my home. So
What? Okay. What is the question you hate the most? And okay, what is? I feel like y'all are getting as you get older, you're gonna hate the question like, "What's next? What are you gonna do next?" Everybody's trying to rush you through college. Do not rush through college, but it goes faster than high school. But what? When do you start thinking, "Oh my gosh, I gotta get my shit together. I gotta like have a life outside of college"? When does that begin, or has it not even begun? If it has not begun, hold on to that.
well, I mean, I hope it's begun. I'm trying to make it begin. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like in the very beginning of college, maybe, it just depends on who you are, but some people are more serious about their future at the beginning, but some people it takes you maybe a year or two to finally
It's
figure it out.
experience.
So yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, for me, it did take maybe a year to really hone in and focus and really lock in, I guess. So I mean, yeah, it just depends on who it is, I think, really.
What do you think?
I would say, especially like transferring from like a Colorado school, like super small, like everyone just kind of like did their own thing, like super kind of hippie vibe. Going into like Austin, where like the top 6% rule, like everybody like and everybody you're encountering like had to have been like the top 6 of their class, like going out of high school. So like that's definitely challenged me to like kind of push more for academically and just like kind of getting my shit together like out of college or out of school life too. So like I would say like my transition to Texas really like opened my eyes, and like I feel like it's not like that, and sometimes like it's fine to like realize like be where your feet are, but I feel like Texas does make you feel like not that you're behind, but it's like the person next to you like was the valedictorian of their class, and like they've had like 4 internships, and like it really like pushes you to be like a better version of yourself, I would say. But
What do y'all? Because we do have a lot of this also. Like we talk a lot of like mental. We talk to all these athletes, and they've all been to college, and then they're out of college, and they're in the pros, and then. But what, like, for all students, like you kind of have. It takes a minute to get your mind around what's happening. What do you think is mental ups and downs a big thing in college?
100%, I feel like it's not
Yeah.
really talked about enough either. Like I feel like the transition for me especially, like it was like I like it opened my eyes so much to like emotions and like kind of experiences that like I had never felt before. But like I feel like the lows can be super low, but the highs are like higher than you've ever experienced, if that makes sense. So I feel like it makes it all worth it. But I feel like yeah.
It's kind of. I remember being in college, and this was before the invention of like the internet. But
He's saying
like
he's old.
so old, so old. It was like you would go one day, and then one day would be like, dude, that day sucked. But then the next day, you would take these like little wins along the way. It was kind of weird. Is that a thing or no?
I would agree.
No.
College literally taught me how to take the win. I was the type that I would like cry if I made a 95. I cried because I was so happy that I made a 60 on a final.
Exactly.
I've never been so proud of myself in my entire life than making a 60 on my final.
I ain't even talking about grades.
Like,
I'm talking about people. Like,
Yeah.
here's the thing. Like, grades are good.
he's
in
a
theory-
cool dad.
In theory, grades are gonna propel you to do what you do. But the biggest thing was like, if you don't know anybody and you're just kind of thrown into like, you go at LSU, you go through Rush, you have a bid day, and now you're friends with like 70 guys, but you don't know any of these people really. That I think is the weirdest part where I think people can get stuck like, oh my gosh, is this gonna be high school all over again? Or is it gonna be, I'm gonna totally reinvent myself as this new person? What is it? What is it?
Whoa.
No, listen.
Whoa there.
Your thing is different because, like I said, you were like you in high school. would you give it an A or a B or a C or a D as your experience?
I was like personality and friend wise, I was a solid C student in high school.
No.
No, like
Okay.
no, like I
C.
mean, like no, like I
Not
just
grades.
no, like just
Your just
people.
vibe was a C.
No, like people wise. I was so locked in high school. I'm like, I need to get into college. I need to find a job. Like I need to do all this stuff. And then I get to college. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm finally living my life.
Right.
Like, oh my god.
I agree. I think in high school you're so focused on what you're gonna be and you don't know what you're gonna be and you're just so looking forward to the future. But as when you're in college, you're like you kind of can just like relax and be like, all right, like you didn't make it obviously, but I mean, I feel like it's a lot less stressful than
Yeah,
it was
my
in high
mom.
school. You kind of have things a little more figured out and have an idea of what you want to do. So I agree in that sense.
Yeah, my mom told me like that. My mom always told me that like she tells all three of my sister or me and my two sisters that like getting into college is going to be one of the hardest things you'll ever have to do in your entire life. Sometimes it's harder than even getting a job because it's so competitive. Every kid wants to, or like a lot of kids want to go to college. But I feel like once I got there, my mom was like, dude, like you're a freshman, take a step back. Like you got into this, like you got into college. Like this is
Right.
what you've been working for since you were like in kindergarten. That was the expectation. Like you're gonna go to college, you're gonna go to college. And it's so hard because like I feel like girl, you go to UT, like that's
Thank
crazy.
you.
But like it's just so insane because you work like for 4 years of your life all for this like one defining moment. Like and it's like I only submitted to one school, so I never got rejected. But like some of my friends like that has to be the hardest thing to take. You worked for 4 years and it wasn't good enough. And so I think like going into your freshman year, like I think at least like the first semester, like obviously work your butt off, but like I feel like sometimes like for me it was nice to like take a step back and be like, dang, I did that. Like
Yes.
I did it.
Is there I get that part. In high school, who's the most annoying people? I know the answer to this, but it's your parents, right? Do you feel like I know this?
100%.
So
Oh yeah.
is it I mean, I feel like and I don't know that we do that. I think we do, but I think kids are so like wound up because they got so much pressure from their parents to do this. Yes or no?
I would say my mom had like a super like her approach to like her parenting style in high school was like as long as I got it done, like she's not gonna say anything to me, and like
Right.
that's like how I mean I feel like it's different for every kid and every parent, but like because like I did what I needed to do, she never had to like get on me or anything, or like I did all my applications like by myself, like my deadlines, like I did that, but I feel like it's because she gave me that like liberty, if that makes sense. Like I feel like if she would have been like on it more, I would have like been like I feel like
That's a good
strict parents sometimes create like sneaky kids. So I feel like that's
Yeah.
kind of that kind of analogy. Like I feel like we had such a good relationship in that sense that like I wanted to get my stuff done. But I feel like sometimes parents that like are constantly like on their kids makes the kids like not want to do it. I don't know. They
Yes.
kind of like rebel.
as out of high school now and then into college. What advice would you give a high school person that is not struggling, but it's just like, oh my gosh, I gotta have it figured out. Shit, you ain't gotta have nothing figured out.
Yeah.
This is what I get. I gotta go to Chick-fil-A for breakfast, and then I'm gonna
Yeah.
go take a nap in the middle of the day because y'all go
Yeah.
like half a day of school.
Like
something,
early
yes.
release. Yeah.
Then you're gonna kick a little Starbucks. Then you're gonna play some basketball with your friends, and then you're gonna talk about guys, and then you're gonna go to bed.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
But But
Facts.
I
Everyone
feel like I do feel
barely
like.
went to school my senior year.
What advice would you give a high schooler that's kind of caught in the system?
You'll end up like right where you're supposed to be, and it's fine. Like you'll be fine. Like get what you need to get done, and like enjoy high school. Like I feel personally like contrary. Like I feel like I had things more figured out in high school than like college. I feel like college is like where you're like, wow, this is like not the real world,
I
obviously.
agree with that too.
But I will say that like I kind of was like it was like a shock, like a big shock in high school. Like I feel like I had everything figured out. Like I love life now too, but like it was very much like it's like a bubble, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I felt like when I came to college, it was kind of like a realization, like whoa, but not in a bad way.
That's interesting that she was like that and you seem like you were totally different.
I would say like get comfortable being uncomfortable
Yeah.
in high school. Like if I would have learned that like it's so much easier because I feel like in college I learned like just walk into the room. It's really not that deep. Everyone is just as uncomfortable as you are.
Yeah.
No one, I mean, LSU, everyone knows everyone. But
Yeah.
like no one really knows anyone. Like and also I think I would just like take a second and like just like take 2 deep breaths and just like be like this is where I'm at right now. Like she said, stuff is gonna fall how it's supposed to be. Um, and it's okay to like want to be your best self, but it's also okay to like feel the lowest of lows to feel the highest of highs, even if your highest of highs is in college and not in high school.
Yeah, it's so different.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna go through struggles like no matter what, no matter who you are. There's gonna be things like adversity that you face, obviously. But I mean, yeah, just trust the process. I mean, no matter what, just try to be happy and focus on what makes you happy. That's first and foremost. I think that's the most important thing. And I mean, yeah, like they were saying, just don't put too much pressure on yourself and just realize that one day it really is all gonna work itself out. Like I've changed my major 3 times now. Last one being the middle of my junior year. So, I mean, you may think you have stuff figured out right now, but you really don't. I mean, it just, yeah, just basically, I think that, you know, things are going to figure themselves out for you along the way, no matter what. So,
It's kind of weird because y'all went through this unprecedented time of like you had COVID, then you just had all of this weirdness that happened in y'all's lives that kind of disrupt, and then y'all are all overthinkers. Here's the thing: when you're old, you in our generation, we didn't think about shit. We just did it. We didn't care about repercussions. We were just like, what? Yeah, let's go. So now overthinking is what? Are you an overthinker?
100%.
Are
Like,
you an overthinker?
Not anymore.
absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But some people just they just
Born
get
like that.
yeah.
yeah, I've
Yeah.
always like, but I feel like you can fake it till you make it. Like, I feel like that's kind of something I learned to do in college is like you said, kind of like when you walk in a room, like everybody's just as uncomfortable, like everyone's just as nervous. Like, you can still be an overthinker, and that doesn't have to be a bad thing. Like, it's not low key, like, and a good thing. Like, if that makes sense,
I
like, it
was
makes you who you are.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, overthinking can be kind of a good thing. I
Yeah.
mean, you want to do everything right. You want to
Mm-hmm.
make sure that, you're following things as best you can. So I think it
Yeah.
can be a good thing, even
Yeah.
though, like if you're overthinking your grades, I mean, that can't really
Yeah.
hurt. So yeah, I sort
Exactly.
of agree in that
And like
sense.
a friendship perspective too, like you overthink, like you look out for people, like you watch what you say, like in a sense of like
Absolutely.
you'll always make sure like you won't like I like love all my friends, but, like I do have some friends with like no filter, and sometimes like they'll say things and it's like you'll look at them like did you like not even think about that twice? Like for me, like I
Yeah.
probably think about something like 5 times before I say it.
Overthinking.
Yeah.
Boy, that didn't happen here.
Not
Not
with
over
you,
here.
man, not with you.
No.
That could be a
Here's
good thing too.
another piece of it. Like we're lucky because we're not girls. Girls are. It's wild. The high school. Does it get better in college,
I would say like just
or it's just different?
girl wise.
Yeah.
I would say like it just depends on everybody's experience. Like I had a really positive experience with friends in high school and like
Yeah.
I feel like I got lucky, but like that's not always the case for people. But also I feel like growing up in the same place, like I would say we watched all of each other's character development. Like we were not like perfect. Well, we're not perfect, but it was never like perfect friendships like
Yeah.
from the start. Like we all grew up together, so you get to watch all those like phases and like you accept them and you love them for that. But like college is like you meet people after they went through that process and like that development process. So I feel like that's different. So like a lot of times like girls have matured or like they've already had their like phase where like there's like so much drama. So I feel like that's kind of like the difference like in college is like people have matured a lot more than like they have in high school. But like now like your high school friends like have gone through that too. So like I feel like that's kind of the
What do you think?
perspective.
I think here's the thing. I think Amelia is like 30 and she's a narc and she's actually
Hey.
as a
Very
she,
well
she
spoken.
yeah, I know. I'm like, hey, yeah, what the heck was that?
I think freshman year it had its ups and downs. I learned a lot about like character judgment and like people judgment. I never really had to do that because I was cool being by myself and like whenever like just like last year in general. Especially like being the oldest, like I don't need any friends. My little sisters are my besties, and my mom is my best
Right.
friend. It's fine. So I was used to having like two little besties, and I was chill with that. And then like moving out of state, I like suddenly needed like I needed friends because I like realized how much I relied on my sisters and my family because we're all girls except for my dad. And then I moved out of state, had no girlfriends. Then I really,
Right.
and then wasn't even in a sorority. So then I was really starting from like nothing. And I would say like I wouldn't say like, oh yeah, I'm a friend group hopper, but I went through my fair share of friends and like I realized that like I'm the type of person that needs to surround myself with people that are like where I want to be at, not where I am now. And so finding people that are like where I want to be has been really, really difficult. Just because I'm like have a lot of credit, so I'm gonna graduate in a year and a half. Um, which is hard because I'm 19, you know? And
Yeah.
like I feel like a lot of college freshmen because Louisiana doesn't have the best dual credit system, they're all like, "Oh yeah, party. It's probably gonna take me 5 years to graduate instead of
Right.
just
Yeah.
4."
Yeah.
And so like they have all the time in the world and I'm like, I need an internship. I need a job. I need all of this. And so like it's been definitely difficult because finding girls in sports is kind of hard. Finding anyone in sports that's willing to help you is so difficult. And like people that genuinely want the best for you. Like they
Yeah.
really want to see you succeed. Um Finding people that are willing to one help you and two like watch you grow and help you like develop and like seeing your potential and like being willing to like let you fall on your face and then help you get back up and like dust yourself off a little bit and keep going. That has been like the hardest part of finding friends in college for me.
That is interesting that you say that. Okay. We're talking about girlfriends, girls. What about
Yeah.
guys? What's the guy? What's the guy? Is it no? What is the guy? Is it hard? Like, or is it? Are guys have like mad game and they're like, oh my gosh, they're just super flirty? Or are you like the? Are you the? What's the word? Kind of like, hey, you, I like you. Are you the more aggressor or chiller? Waiting.
I like terrorizing frat boys. That's my
Um,
that's my bad.
That's your path.
Well, yeah, because they you know how evil they are? Like everyone goes to an SEC school, like they're mean. They're like, hey, like I saw you looking at me from across the room. I'm like, you're standing in a group of 20 guys and you're at the bar. Like you're not special. Y'all are all wearing the same Sigma Chi shirt. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
And so like my favorite insult lately has been like, oh, you look like you only got D3 offers, huh? And they're like,
Yeah.
you can hear a pin drop with that.
That is, you're saying that is your approach.
Is that like your flirting tactic?
Oh no, that's my please get away from me
Oh,
tactic.
Okay.
I stay. Oh, boys scare me in college because it's too real. I'm like, ew, he could be my husband one day. That's weird. Like, I just can't do it. Like, that's so awkward. Like, what do you mean I might stay with you for the rest of my life? It's so terrible. It sounds terrible. Can you imagine marrying a frat guy? Hey babe, like,
Hey,
I think they're both frat guys. You're a cool frat guy. Like, some of these guys are like, hey, like, are you in a frat?
Yeah.
What frat are you in?
SIG.
Okay, you're in SIGAP, so like that's
They're
cool.
cool.
Yeah, they're cool.
Okay.
I thought.
Well, not at LSU though. They could be different at LSU.
No, like they're cool too, but like
Alright, I'll take it.
SIGAPs are like nice people, but like sometimes like some of the frats I'm like, ooh. They're like, you know how like sometimes I'm not in a sorority, but like some guys are like, yeah, like what sorority are you in? I'm like, oh, I'm not in a sorority. And they're like, oh, really? What do you do then? And I'm like, oh, I'm a sports reporter. They're like, oh, so you know ball. You know ball. And I'm like, yeah, I know ball. Like, that's just like, and then they're like,
That seemed like that would work.
it works too well because then they're like,
Yeah, they always just talk about
what's your
sports.
Instagram? Like, what's your Instagram? And then they're like, bro, you were on the field for that game? Like, that's that's insane, bro. And
So
then,
you're not
like,
your friend.
what?
So now you're like become like your friend zone.
Oh
You're a
yeah,
sports
oh yeah, bro, that's so live.
Yeah.
That's
it's
so
live.
live. That is
It's
so
live.
live.
Okay. What?
I don't know. I feel like the past like 2 years in college, like I've just been like focusing on like making as many friends as possible. I feel like strengthening your girl friendships, and then like if something else comes along, like awesome. But I feel like that's kind of where I've been.
Yep.
That-
I
yeah.
feel it. I'm feeling it.
So yeah.
What is your take on the girl side of it? Is it are girls, here's the thing, because y'all are completely disconnected, guys and girls.
Yeah, it's not real.
It's
Guys.
It's a
sucks.
simulation.
It's just terrible. Because like the miscommunication is just epic.
Mm-hmm.
As
That's
older people
true.
watching, is it hard to like engage? Because it's hard, like at a bar, just to start striking up a conversation. Are you a bar person? You just start right in, or are you gonna have to see the person a couple times and then start chopping it up?
The second one, I'd say for sure. I mean, yeah, like she said, I feel like, the time's gonna come to you when the time's gonna come. I'd rather not force things. Like, you also don't want to be the douchey frat bar guy like she was kind of talking about. You don't want to be the guy, I don't know, who's known to just go and hit on everyone. But I mean, yeah, I'd say I kind of just lay back and kind of try to let it come to me. I mean, I don't know. I'm like she said, I don't know. I don't want to be like, I don't know, a douchey frat guy. So
You're the
basically
nicest
that.
frat boy I know.
Thank you.
There we go.
I'll take that.
Sweet.
Well, okay, we've got so much to talk about. We have this is hours and hours and hours of the summer. We're gonna get this together on maybe a weekly, bi-weekly basis to talk about. We got to talk about social media. We got to talk about how y'all communicate. We had a snippet of just about y'all can Snapchat now, but when you graduate from college, Snapchat is out.
Out of the door.
Agreed.
I'm
I
learning
got
all this.
I got only got one semester left with Snapchat. So.
Yeah.
Deleting the app.
And I'm deleting that.
And the beauty is we got a freshman, sophomore, and junior right here now going to be sophomores, juniors, seniors. So it gives us good perspective on what's happening in the college life, dating life. We're gonna see some character development over the next 2 months.
There we go.
Yes. All right.
Yeah.
All right. You intern crew 2025. All right. We'll see y'all at the games, or we'll see you at Starbucks or Chick-fil-A. Take a pick.